Assalamualaikum and greetings to all. Welcome back, and this is video lecture slides week 2A. So for this video lecture slide week 2A, we are going to focus on development. The previous video lecture slides week 2, we focus on culture. So at the end of this video lecture slides, all of you should be able to discuss the influence of cultures in developing a nation appropriately, and this is course learning outcome 1. So let's have a look at what we're going to look at today. Development. Now, what is development? In our previous class, in week 1, we talked about development, and one of the other words to describe development is improvement. So basically, when you improve something, that means you have developed something. So in our discussion or in our course, we are going to look at development that refers to how developing countries working their way up in order to improve economic performance, living standards, sustainability and equality that differentiate them from the so-called developed countries. Now, let me ask you this question. Do you think Malaysia is a developed country or developing country? So there's differences between a developed country and a developing country. One is actually trying to develop, still developing, which is developing country, and developed country has already achieved the status of developed country, modern perhaps. And if, let's say, we were to give definition to development according to the United Nations Development Programs, UNDP. So this is basically a comparison. Development is actually a fundamental to the comparison of developed and developing countries. So we are actually measuring developed and developing countries. So basically that's the rough definition. And when you talk about human, remember we have many types of development. So one of them is human development. Human development is actually seen as the expansions of people's freedoms and capabilities to lead lives that they value, that they cherish, and have reason to value. It is about expanding choices. We talk about freedoms and capabilities are a more expansive notion than basic needs. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, development is about making choices. If you want to build a wooden house, please do so. If you want to build a brick house, yes. If you want to go to UPNM to study, please. If you want to go to other universities, that's your choice. So that is actually development according to this UNDP's definition. Now, when you talk about development, there's always this word inequality. Inequality. Ketidaksamarataan. That's the Malay term. So inequality plays an important role in evaluating development statistics. So if you want to see whether the progress of a country is okay or not okay, so basically you will go and look at the inequality parts of it. So that's why inequality plays an important role in evaluating development. Now, some country will say that, okay, we are developing well. Some parts of the world will say that, oh, they have problems in order to develop equally. You talk about equality when you talk about whether the social development is okay, the economic development is also okay, political development is also okay. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, all types of development in that particular country must be balanced, or else we will have inequality. And when you talk about balanced development, this is where this phrase sustainable development is here to explain it. When you talk about a balanced development, that is the meaning for sustainable development. So we talk about the issue of sustainability that actually adds to another dimension to the concept of development. So if you're not able to sustain, then you will not have a balanced development. The UNDP defines sustainable human development as the expansion of substantive freedoms of people today while making reasonable efforts to avoid seriously compromising those of future generations. So basically, if you want to have development, you must make sure that the development can be sustained until the next generations or the future generations. There's no point of developing just for your generation, because at the end of it, you are not going to live forever. It's going to be passed down to your next generation. So your development that you are trying to propose, that you are doing now, must be able to be kept for future generations as well. And about sustainable development, we will actually look at environmental conservation, because it is a very critical component of sustainable development. You cannot have sustainable development without environmental control or conservation. So this is where we have issues such as climate change, the efforts to protect the earth and natural resources. So all this, so that the next generation, your future generation, will be able to experience the forests, the sea, for example. So sustainable development, one of the critical components would be the environmental conservation. What is sustainability? We talk about sustainable development. So what is sustainability? Sustainability is actually the living and conducting business in such a way that financial gain and economic growth do not come at the cost of degrading the environment or jeopardizing living standards and social well-being. If you have a very smooth, a very fast development, for example, but it is at the expense of the jungle, it is at the expense of the people, then it is not sustainable development. So that's on development. So 3 pillars of sustainability, how you want to achieve sustainability. And just now we talked about sustainable development, and one of the component would be environment. So for 3 pillars of sustainability: environmental, economic, and social development. So without these 3 pillars, you will not have sustainability. So what next? Development is a very positive, I would say, positive concept that gives you the vision, that gives you the hope for a better future. Development indicators and indexes are useful tools in order to measure progress and to identify areas for improvement. And regardless of the statistics, regardless of the definitions, all countries must embrace the charge of developing countries by taking action to expand opportunities, grab opportunities, to eliminate inequities, to delete inequality, and to enhance well-being for everyone. So development is basically for the future. Development is actually for the well-being of the people, of the country, of the nation, and of the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the video lecture slides week 2A. We talk about development, and our focus is on actually sustainable development and sustainability. As usual, if you have any questions, if you are not sure of anything, just WhatsApp me or email me, or we can discuss in our face-to-face sessions. With that, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum and greetings once again to all.